People really be talking about getting brownie points but still make it from a box? Proper brownies.
3/4 of a cup unsalted butter, small pot in, pan on.
Medium heat.
Make it melted.
Half a cup of flour.
3/4 of a cup cocoa powder. Half a teaspoon of salt.
Secret ingredient, espresso powder.
1.5 teaspoons of that.
Some whiskey business. In a separate bowl, 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar.
Melted butter. Whiskey business. 2 whole eggs. Just half of that cocoa mix.
Fuck it, we'll do the rest of it.
Now mix all that together
Until completely smooth.
Salmonella. 4 ounces of chocolate.
Chop that up.
Should look a little bit like that.
And fold together.
8x8 baking pan oil.
In. Spread it out.
Bad boy in the oven. 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
35 to 40 minutes.
Let it cool to room temperature, please. Cut 9 slightly uneven slices. Glossy fudgy.
Brownie boys for you to enjoy.
Don't you dare throw those away. We're making the best banana bread. I can't stress it enough. Measure like this. Sweet. Best way to measure. 1.5 cups all-purpose flour. 1 teaspoon baking soda. Half a teaspoon kosher salt. 3/4 cup unsalted butter. Make sure the butter's softened, not melted. 1 cup packed light brown sugar. Cream, medium speed, 2 minutes. 2 eggs. 1 teaspoon vanilla. Ripe bananas. The batter's gonna curdle. Going through your wording. Funnel in the flour, low speed until combined. That way you don't make a mess. Spray 9x5 loaf pan. 45 minutes to 1 hour. Oh yeah.
Look at the time. It's time to make the best chocolate chip cookies that have ever existed.
1.5 cups all-purpose flour. Half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon baking soda. My whisk is broken. Whisk that together.
3/4 a cup brown sugar. Half a cup granulated sugar. Whiskey business. Half cup of melted butter in 1 egg. Plus 1 egg yolk.
2.5 teaspoons of vanilla that I forgot to film again.
Now that's what I like to see. Flour mixture, but just half of it first.
Mix till combined.
And add the rest of that bad boy. Mix, but be gentle. 6 ounces of chocolate. Chop it up.
Should look something like this.
Chocolate in.
Sure, it's a little chocolate. Got a problem with that?
Fold together. Plastic wrap.
Chill in fridge about 20 minutes.
The oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Baking sheet, parchment paper.
Scoop cookies with an ice cream scoop, leaving lots of space. Bake 12 to 15 minutes or until golden brown.
A little bit of flaky salt. Let them cool. That cookie break, you know? That
Is how a cookie should look.
1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a cup of chocolate chips. Mix it all together. Divide into 12 and place on a prepared baking sheet at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. Boom.
So today I really wanted to try to make churros, so I added a cup of water, half a cup of butter, a tablespoon of sugar, and boiled that on high. Then mix it around a bit, put in the flour, cut off the heat before flour, mix that around, added some vanilla, mix it more, transferred it to this bowl, added an egg, and mixed it with a hand mixer. It was still kind of lumpy, so mix it with this spoon. And then I got a piping tip and bag, put the dough inside there, and I wanted to make some long churros like at Disney. So I did that, put it in the freezer, oil to the pot, and then made my cinnamon sugar mixture. All you gotta do is squeeze out the dough, cut it with scissors, and it falls right into the oil. Take it out when it's golden brown, place on some paper, and don't let it dry too much because you want it to stick to the cinnamon sugar. Now I'm frying my long boys until they're golden brown, putting some sugar on that, and then here's the finished product. It was so good and so yummy.
Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to make super good loft house cookies that taste just like these ones. First, add 1/2 cup of butter, softened. Then you're gonna add 1 cup of white sugar. Okay, after you mix it, it should look like this. I promise you it's gonna look better in the end, but just make sure all the butter chunks are out. Then you're gonna add in 1/2 cup of sour cream. Get in there. Then you're gonna crack in 2 eggs. Then about half a teaspoon of vanilla. Then you're gonna do 3 cups of flour. You're also gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, then half a teaspoon of baking powder. Lastly, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix it all together. You're then gonna put them on your ungreased baking sheet and bake them for exactly 8 minutes on 350 degrees. So these are the cookies after they come out of the oven. Now I'm gonna frost them and add sprinkles to give them the real effect. And that is your loft house cookie for you.
Grab some Oreos. You'll need about 36. Either put them in a Ziploc bag or a food processor and crush them. It should look something like this. Grab about a spoonful to save for later. Grab about 8 ounces of cream cheese and mix it in. After mixing, it'll look something like this. Now you'll need a baking sheet and line it with parchment paper. Roll the mixture into a ball and place it on the sheet. Make some space in your fridge and leave them in there for about 30 minutes. Meanwhile, grab another bowl and pour in some white chocolate chips. Put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Take them out and mix them around and repeat this until they're melted. After 30 minutes, take them out and put them on a stick. Now they're ready to be dipped in chocolate. Just like that. Put them back onto the parchment paper and pour your Oreo crumbs on them. They're gonna end up looking something like this. So yummy. Put them back into the fridge for 10 more minutes and they're done. Let's try them. Okay, here we go. Now you know how to make Oreo balls.
So as a working parent, this one recipe has come to my rescue many times. It's a 1 minute, very gooey, super simple chocolate mug cake. Okay, so here's what we're using today. We need 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon vanilla essence, 3 tablespoons of any plant-based milk. I need 1 tablespoon of olive oil or canola oil, 2 tablespoons of Nutella. And then all you have to do is put all the wet and dry ingredients together and give it a good stir. I put it in the microwave for 60 seconds because mine's 800 watts. If your microwave is 1000 watts, put it in for 40 seconds. And it's done! Can you see how good that looks? I can't wait to begin.
Pretty rainbow crepe cake today. You're gonna need a cup of flour, 2 large eggs, 3/4 cup of milk, half a cup of water, and 3 tablespoons of butter. Whisk all together till you get a watery consistency. Divide it into 5 bowls, and I'm using food coloring to make mine pink, yellow, orange, green, and blue. Then you're gonna wanna put your pan on low. This is really all trial and error, so I started with the blue because if I mess up, then you can't really see it since it's at the bottom of the cake. But then eventually you'll get used to like the technique. You just kind of have to maneuver around the pan till it's nice and thin. And then when you're done with that, put it in the fridge while you make your whipped cream. You're gonna need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and 2 tablespoons of sugar and whip it until it's stiff. Then you're gonna assemble it. See, I put the ugly crepe on the bottom and you can't even see it. Just layer it like so. I put some powdered sugar, but it kind of dissolved. And then look how satisfying this looks. I'm really proud of how this came out.
I have guests today, so let's make macarons. Okay, 2 egg whites. And beat them until they're bubbly. Slowly add 1/4 cup of sugar. Mix. More. Mix. Alright, mix until you got some sort of peaks. Alright, now add some food color. Once it's stiff, sift through 3/4 cup almond flour and 1 cup powdered sugar. And now fold. Alright, nice. Alright, now drop. Again. Okay, now that they're matte, you can put them in the oven. 14 minutes later. Now we're making cream. Put butter and powdered sugar together. Now I gotta fill them. Wow. Pretty. Nice.
You should play. Fair enough.
Tell me why you gotta look at me that way. You know what it does to me. So baby, what you trying to say? Lately all I want is you on top of me. You know where your hands should be. So baby, won't you come show me? I got you dreaming. You close your eyes and you're screaming. Play with your mind for no reason. I know you love how I'm teasing. You know that I'm playing, so don't be mistaken.
Wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. say